Morning guys, Dave Canterbury with Self-Reliance Outfitters in the Pathfinder School. I apologize for my lack of videos lately. I've been really on a busy schedule. I did 2 back-to-back classes of basic and advanced down in Georgia. I've been writing magazine articles for American Frontiersmen, and I've been doing a lot of things that have kind of gotten me backed up, and now I'm trying to catch up in the Ford shop with the orders from Self-Reliance Outfitters to get product out to you guys on the website as well. So I thought what I'd do today is, since I'm working in the Ford shop anyway, I'd walk you through the process of making a swing arm cook set like the ones we sell at Self-Reliance Outfitters. So stay with me guys and we'll get started. Again, I apologize for the lack of videos lately. I've got a couple different anvils that I use out here to work on. I've got a 268-pound hay button anvil here, and I've got another anvil over here that really doesn't have any markings on it that I got from an Amish blacksmith that kind of was one of my mentors. And it has a little bit smaller horn as far as the diameter goes. So I use that for a lot of turning, especially on the bush pot holder portion, the pot holder portion of the swing arm cook set. It makes a really good set of utility anvils for different purposes that I can use around the shop. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a piece of 24-inch 3/8 rebar. We're going to heat that thing up about the first foot of it. And we're going to start to turn our pot stand, and that's basically just something that's about 4 to 5 inches in diameter that our bush pot can sit on top of and be part of the swing arm system. Once we pigtail this back in to swing on a 1/2-inch stake that can be swung over and off the fire and adjusted up and down very easily, and then we'll make a pot hook out of that same material. So let me get this heated up and we'll get started. All right. First thing we're going to do is start chasing this dude around this horn, like this. Flatten it out. Now we'll heat a little bit more of it up, chase it a little further around. I like to tuck it right into that spot right there on the edge of that anvil step. That tells me I'm about where I want to be. And then I just form everything down to where I want it. Need to go a little bit further with that. Just like that. Now I can heat it up and put my shepherd's hook in it. And then we can final shape it. Put it right there at the corner. Pound that shepherd's hook in there. Bring it around to close the gap. There we go. Now we got a nice round pot stand. That's step 1. Alright, so the next thing we need is a pot hook, and for this we're going to use piece of 18-inch rebar, because remember we used the 24 on that first piece. And we put a circle on that here that ate up quite a bit of that length. So we're using a shorter length bar to begin with here with the 18. So we got one 24-inch piece and one 18-inch piece. We get this thing good and hot and we'll get her going. Now again, repeatability is the key here. And being able to measure things and know where I want them to come out and know that I want this drawn out to that point every time is going to make all of these look the same. So now I'm just planishing and squaring it up, making sure my measurement's about right to where my planish begins, my point ends. And I can eyeball the thickness pretty well that I want. Now I'm going to heat this up and put it in a jig to bend it. There's my pot hook finished. Now I need to pigtail both of these pieces to fit a piece of 1/2 inch bar. Okay, now we're going to heat this thing up and put the curlicue in it. Then we'll come back and make sure it's fairly straight with everything else. So again, just like any other process, we're trying to create jigs to make things repeatable. And I've got 2 pieces of 1/2 inch rebar here together with just a small space between. I'll start my pigtail wrap there and go up. And that'll give me that pigtail to fit that 1/2 inch, and then I can just adjust things as I need to. But remember, when metal's hot, it's expanded. So as soon as I cool that pigtail down, it's going to shrink anyway. Even if I wrap it tight on here, it's going to be too tight. So if it's a little bit loose, it's okay in the beginning. But this gives me a jig, again, for repeatability. Now I get a perfect pigtail every time. Come around to the front and adjust it. Get everything nice and leveled up and square. Boom. Then we can just wiggle it off of there after it cools down just a little bit. Okay, so the last thing I do is just put a piece of 1/2 inch rebar in my pritchel hole here and make sure that everything is operating the way I want it to. Make sure everything's adjustable the way I want it to be. Make sure everything's sitting level as I want it to be. It's okay if this pot hanger is a little bit high, because as you put weight on it, it'll pull it even. That'll be fine. You just want to make sure that the pot hangs on there nice and straight for the most part, just like that. That looks pretty good. Again, if you got weight in there, it's going to be straight. There's no weight in this pot right now at all. Thing straightened up, make sure I look at everything at a bird's eye level here, like it was pounding in the ground. That looks pretty good. Alright, so we got good fit up, everything's working the way we want it to. I think we're in good shape with that one. Now all we got to do is make a stake for this out of 1/2 inch out of this stuff here. And we've got ourselves a swing arm cook set. Alright guys, well I appreciate you joining me today for this quick video on how to make a swing arm cook set. Again, I apologize for the lack of video content as of late, but I've been really busy, and right now I got to get back to work in the forging shop. Appreciate your views, I appreciate your support. I thank you for everything you do for our school, for our business, for our sponsors, for all of our affiliates and all of our friends. I'll be back with another video as soon as I can. Thanks guys.